Peace and love, family. Peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual vittles. And today I'm going in on negative programming. Ooh, this is a good one, family. This is a good one. Negative programming. Ooh. This is one of my favorites because when I realized that I was afflicting myself with negative programming, it changed my life. Because once I realized I had a problem or an issue or some challenges, I was compelled to fix them. And one of the biggest negative programmings that I was ingesting within my own self was negative self-talk. Negative self-talk. Talking about like if I wanted to do anything, I thought about all the things that I didn't have, that I felt as if I couldn't do, the reasons why I couldn't do it, all the negative things first. And I was just blanketing myself with all this pestilence and negativity that when it came to think about the positive things that I needed to do, it was blanketed by all the negative and I wasn't able to make a move. You know what I mean? Whenever you ingest or you spew negative self-talk, you kill your dreams. You kill your dreams. Going forward to counteract all the negative programming hiding in the crevasses of the negative self-talk, you have to really start only focusing on the good things only. The negative things, just only have two and focus on those last. Focus on 10 to 20 positive things first, and then be real and think about just 2 or 3 negative things. And allow the good things in your positive self-talk to overwhelm the negativity. It's going to be a little challenging in the beginning. Things like I'll try, maybe one day, when my money get right. Whenever you use when or if or maybe one day, things like that, I'll try, but you got to take those lexicons out of your vernacular. You have to take those words out of your vocabulary, family, because they'll kill you. Not physically, but they'll kill your dreams. Another one that's akin to the negative self-talk is the feeling of helplessness. You know, when I was growing up, you all know that I grew up in the hood, single family home, around the negativity. No one around me was winning. You go on, the list goes on and on. And when you're focused on your learned helplessness, you can't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. We've all done it. I'm not going to say we all do it because after this video, you won't do it no more. But learned helplessness is something that's bequeathed to you from whomever who were raising you or your environment or your social environment. You know, when I was younger and I was playing the clarinet, people talked about me. What you got that little briefcase for? I said, it's not a briefcase, it's a clarinet. And they laughed at me. And the learned helplessness that I got from that experience was I would take my coat off, even if it was cold. I would take my coat off and cover my clarinet and walk down the streets like that. Just not to let anyone talk about me. Even though I loved playing the clarinet, I was in the orchestra, I was in the pit at Taft Theater. I was a beast. I played for 10 years. But I would always hide it. I was an AP student, advanced placement student. So I had those big, thick books from like 6th grade on up all through high school. I used to hide it, put my coat over my book bag and things like that. Because unfortunately, where I was from, if you had like strong intellectual prowess, you were trying to make it out, you were like an outcast. I had to dumb down my speech sometimes. My mannerisms and my actions had to fit in or I would have been labeled as an outcast. But all that was doing was just cementing learned helplessness in my own consciousness. And one of the biggest negative programming is fear-based beliefs. Fear-based beliefs. And spirit, whenever you ingest fear-based beliefs, it kills your joy. Whenever you want to believe something out of fear, you're killing your joy. And a lot of religion has fear-based beliefs. We take the hell and the devil out of things. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So in order to put the cheese on the trap, they have to scare you into believing. And those fear-based beliefs are one of the biggest negative programming afflicting our community right now. If it's scaring you, it's not good. Don't focus on it. Don't focus on it. If you believe like I believe, it is what it is. And I believe, not fear-based, but I believe that I do so much good out here that when I transition, I'm going to get like a return on all the good that I've done. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that's similar to fear-based beliefs is limited beliefs. And that's another big aspect of fear-based or negative programming. Limited beliefs. When you believe that, I don't want to be rich, but I just want to be okay. I got to work twice as hard as the next man. They got their foot on my neck. I need my reparations. Help me, please. They out here doing this to me. You know what I'm saying? So-called supremacy. All these limited beliefs. Me personally, I don't have that anymore. Because I have what I call Debo consciousness. And I go hard at whatever I do. And I have fun while I'm doing it. And when I let go of all my limited beliefs, I created a beacon for positive beliefs to flow through me. But whenever you're encompassing or choosing to accept limited beliefs in your life, nothing exists until you focus on it. And your reality becomes a depiction or a reflection of how you feel, family. It's just as simple as that. One of the biggest negative programmings that I see afflicting a lot of the communities, regardless of your race, culture, or creed, is addiction. And it's not just addiction to drugs. It's addiction to whatever it is that's not serving you in a positive way. A lot of people are addicted to pornography. A lot of people are addicted to drugs. A lot of people are addicted to gambling, overeating, excessive cursing. All these addictions, and there's plenty more, but all these addictions have so much negative programming in it, you'll find yourself doing it without being in control. And whenever you're doing anything and you don't know why you're doing it, you feel as if you're being controlled. Me personally, I feel as if negativity is like a force and what I call information entities of negativity. And once you willingly partake in negative things where these information entities of negativity live, they're going to coerce you to feed so they can exist. Negativity isn't one of those things that's just born within us. It's more like a virus. And when you accept negativity in your life, you create a negative Trojan that goes out and makes you think about more negative things just to sustain itself. Negativity can't exist in a mind filled with light. 85% of our thoughts are negative. So if that's the case, we have to coerce ourselves, gain control of our consciousness, and start thinking positive more. I'm going to be real with you guys. It's not going to be easy. But you're going to have to make a choice and choose so daily. And eventually, your choices will become habit. And when they become habitual, it will change you. You won't even know you're thinking positive. Everything's going to come in, whether it's negative or positive, it's always going to come out positive. No matter what's coming my way, I always I'm aware that there's duality in everything. So whatever comes in, I like to take the high road and focus on that. Yeah, the low road exists. I'm just not focusing on it. I'm just not focusing on it, family. One more thing about negative programming that I think that's really afflicting our communities is trauma. Most of us are afflicted with trauma. Most of us are, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, you name it, suffering from only having one parent, feeling as if you haven't got as much out of life as your peers or your cohorts in crime fighting or whatever. Trauma is real, but you have to learn to control it. Me personally, when I see something negative in my past, I like to do this trick. I call it positive current breathing. So for me, negativity is on the left side. My current state is in the front, and then my future is on the right. So if I had some negative things happen to me in the past, I like to breathe them in. I like to breathe them out in my current state. All this negativity just getting blown out of me. I breathe in the negativity. While I'm breathing in, I'm thinking about all the negative things that happened to me. And I'm just blowing them out right at my current state. So before I go into the future, I have to clear all the negative thoughts out of my air and my breath. So after I've done it about 3 or 4 times, or however many times you need to, I like to turn to the future and I breathe in all the good things that I want to be in my life in the future. All the good impetus, momentum, fervor, positive, anything favorable, I create it in my mind. I breathe it in and I pull it to the now. And I do that at least 10 times. My new home, all the wealth, all the happiness, all the good luck, joy. I'm a physical specimen in the future. And I breathe that into the now. And I do that as much as I can. And if some of the negative trauma from the past is too strong and still lingering in my consciousness, I take some of that good stuff in the future and I throw it back to my old self. I don't feel as if life is linear like they tell us. I think it's cyclical. I think it's in a circle. I think we're living and dead at the same time and we're experiencing everything at the same time, but our consciousness and our physical state is allowing us to experience snapshots of time. So there's still an aspect of my consciousness that's existing in the lower state in the past that was suffering. But I feel that as if that I, like a phone call, I can throw a beacon of light to my old self that's going to help me usurp my divinity now. Hopefully you guys are following me in this, but I'll repeat again. There's an aspect of myself that's in the past, that's still existing, that's still suffering. That aspect of myself is laying dormant in my current consciousness. But what I like to do is breathe in all the good from the future and the now and blow that thing back in the past on me. It's like a twister of goodness. And I'm seeing myself being blanketed with all this good healing energy. And I do that as long as I need to, family. As long as I need to. One of the biggest negative programming is unhealthy relationships. I don't care if it's with your mother, your father, brother, sister, boo, cousin Junebug, Sanchez. I don't care who it's with. We feel as if time dictates how long we need to be around people. I don't care if you've been a friend with someone 10, 5, 20, 50 years. If it's an unhealthy relationship, you have to cut it off, family. You have to cut it off. Because when you willingly allow negative aspects in your life, it's going to affect your karma. I don't care how good you think you are, but if you're making a conscious choice to be around negative people, a little bit of their negative karma is going to bleed into your karma. And you'll be wondering like, man, I'm doing all this good stuff. Why I can't get no break? Why can't I get right? I'm trying out here. You're choosing to hang around negative people and associate with negative people. Simply talking to someone on the phone, dumping their dumpster juice in your consciousness is going to have effect on you. They're cleansing their plate and they're giving you nothing more than like just negative trash juice. And you're allowing it. So going forward, if you have that friend or a family member that's always calling you with negativity, I want you to act as if your light means something, as if it's worth something, and have that, that confidence to let them know, listen, going forward, if you're talking to me, I'm about that light and I'm about winning. If you're not talking about making money or being productive or maximizing your abilities or brainstorming or focus on being a visionary, I can't share my time or my space with non-visionaries that speak negativity all the time. It's just as simple as that, family. One of the biggest, and there's a lot of them, negative programming, but lack of self-confidence. Lack of self-confidence. Too many of you guys don't feel as if you can do it. And one thing I always told my daughter, I don't care what it is, it's always challenging and it's always hard in the beginning. You're human. We're of the Creator. We're creators. So I don't care what it is that's manifested in our earthly state. If we focus on it, we can do it. I don't care what it is. If you focus on it enough, you think about it enough, you tie an emotion to it enough, and you do something daily that's in alignment with it, eventually you will master it. In martial arts, we're taught that when you throw a punch 1,000 times, you master it. That way, even if you're hurt or rocked or tired, you'll still be able to throw that punch real smooth. The same thing applies to the things you do. The same thing applies to your self-confidence, man. You know what I'm saying, family? I almost called you guys baby. But, you know, I call my wife and my daughter baby because I look at them as something that I covet. And when I'm talking to you guys, even though I don't see you, I care about you all. So if I call you baby accidentally, it's nothing personal. I'm not trying, it's just because I care about you. But your self-confidence needs to be built up. Self-confidence is like a muscle. It's like a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it will be. But you don't want to go out to try anything really daunting in the beginning. You want to do something little. Debo baby steps. You know what I'm saying? Do so many little bitty things to build your confidence up. That way, when you go to anything, you go into it with the mindset of I'm already a winner. You know what I'm saying, family? The last two things that I feel as if is negative programming is the media and the media and like social conditioning. The way they condition us to be in fear of things is one thing that's afflicting our culture to this day. The news doesn't really show you a lot of good news. They sprinkle so much detritus and negative spiritual waste and physical waste and war. And if you watch the news, it's not helping you at all, family. I feel as if there are tones and cymatic tones being hidden on frequencies on the news and in certain music that's negative that affects you on a subconscious level. You can't even hear it with the human ear, but you're picking it up. And these frequencies lower your mental state. It lowers your frequency, kind of like binaural beats. When you have a binaural beat and it one is going at 7 megahertz per hour and the other one is at 7 megahertz per hour. One's at 7 and one's at 14, and your brain reduces it to 7, and it makes you like rule at peace and relax. The same thing happens with the media and negative music. They put these cymatic tones that you can't hear consciously that puts you in a state of fear, family. And that negative programming is one of the worst programmings that will afflict you because you don't even know you're being affected. It's as if you're taking drugs and you think you're drinking Kool-Aid. It's just as simple as that. So I'm telling you today, if you're still watching CNN and the news, stop it. Stop it, family. Because realistically, if it's not within your state of being, or if you can't touch it or see it, you really don't know if it's true or not. And nothing exists until you focus on it. But the powers that be, I feel, they know that the collective consciousness together has power. And whether your ignorance to this power or not, they don't care about that. But the fact that you're ignorant to the power that you have, they'll manipulate you and they'll take your power and use it against you so they can rise. But the way to gain that power back is just not focus on the things they give you. I don't care what it is. If they want you to get that, the jab, whatever they call that thing, I can't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. If they trying to make you get that, don't do it, family. You feel good, you good. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's free in this world. And I definitely don't take anything free from the government. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't. And what else? I think that's it today, family. I don't want to load you up with too much. I like to give you like 5 to 10 things to focus on. I can just keep going on and on and on negative programming. But one thing I want you to do is think about all the negative programming in your life. Because of the small things that I mentioned are just what I see in my life that I had to overcome. But there's a lot of negative programming that you may be experiencing that the next man or I haven't experienced yet. But I do want you to be mindful of all the negative programming in your life so it will help you usurp your divinity and help you win in life. So hopefully you got some Jews, family. Going forward, Going forward, my goal or what I'm doing is just giving a little bit of my insight on things. I don't want you to think that, Chris Enlightened said this, do this. I want you to see me as someone who's experienced some things, and I'm just sharing my experiences with you. You can take it or run with it or leave it. It's up to you, family. This is my page, and my goal is to just help you win in life. You can't win at life if you're always thinking negative. If you're not thinking good, you're thinking negative. If you're not doing good, you're doing bad. It's just as simple as that. Regardless of what comes your way, and I want you to focus on this. Regardless of what's presented to you and what comes your way, you have to know that you're a god or goddess, and it's going to be all right. A lot of the unfavorable things or the challenges that happen in your life helps you evolve, because on the back end, you're going to be better and stronger than you were when you went in. No matter what comes your way, I feel as if we choose what comes in our life so we can evolve. I think our whole sole purpose on this earth is to evolve into something more. And if you're being complacent, you're stuck in this state of consolidation, you're not growing. You're not growing. And if you don't want to grow, that's okay. Some of us come here not to grow. Some of us come here to lose. Me, I come here to win. But there's aspects of myself and other people that may have had infinite amounts of winning in their incarnations, and they've come back here to lose this lifetime. Just to experience a life of losing. And when you experience or you come across someone that's a so-called loser, leave them where they are. Respect their choice to lose and leave them where they are and wish them well. So on that note, family, hopefully you got some juice. I really want you guys to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this video with people if it resonates with you. If this video doesn't resonate with you, look at one of my other 500 videos and see if they resonate with you and share those. But the message of joy and peace and love and light, this stuff needs to get out there, family. We need more of this more than ever. And I'm speaking right from this heart right here to you guys. And I want you to accept it and share it with the world. If you want to support me, go out to Amazon, pick up any one of my 8 books: Poverty Consciousness, The Enlightened Talk, Wealth Consciousness, Consciousness Equals Choice, Dissolving Your Limitations, Seeds of Time 1, Seeds of Time 2, and my latest book, Divination. It's a banger. It's thick, 300 pages. So on that note, family, you already know what I'm doing. I'm out here winning.